Hey there, YouTube and Whooper Club fans. I'm Michael, aka Fruit Taco, aka the coach of the Route 1 Burbs, bringing you Week Three's feature match from the WCL Season 12. This week I'm joined by Matt, Cat Measles, OG host of the feature match and coach of the Cincinnati Incineroar. Welcome back to the feature match.
Thank you, thank you. So good to be here.
This week we've got Joey and the Akron Aggrons going up against Just Greggles and the Quiet Majesty. After a bye week 1, the Aggrons are looking to push their way to the front of the pack, while the Majesty had a huge loss in week 2 after pulling off the week 1 upset and would love to reassert themselves here. Looking at the matchup here, the Agrons are made up of Cinderace, Screamtail, Zoroark, Baxcalibur, Wo-Chien, Bisharp, Skeledirge, Donphan, Electros, Slowking, and Clodsire. The Majesty's members include Meowscarada, Lycanroc Dusk, Palmot, Espathra, Mismagius, Garchomp, and Chi-Yu, neither of whom can terrestrialize, Satitan, Serena, Sylveon, and Toxapex. Looking at the speed tiers first as always, the Majesty have only 4 Pokemon under base 100, as well as the fastest Mon in the matchup, and great priority, so they have an easy advantage in the speed department. However, the Agron's team can then, already bulky, can find some room to invest in some even more bulk. Matt, what are you seeing in this matchup?
Yeah, I think it's interesting how, obviously the Quiet Majesty kind of comes out of the gate swinging. You have two Pokemon who are terror restricted, and, obviously being due to how powerful they naturally are. And on top of that, like you said, the speed tiers are just, so fast. And so, it looks like it's going to be very easy for that team every single week to, put their opponent on the back foot. And so it is interesting how on the other side of this matchup, you do have a good amount of bulky Pokemon. And so this is honestly, the kind of matchup you really like to see. One team that's, really committed to, just basically hyper offense, and the other that's committed just to playing a bulky, balanced game, and seeing which one can break through the other first. So, I think we've got a good stage here set for an exciting match, and a lot of league favorites as well. Wo-Chien, EVL Bisharp on the Agron side. Whether for competitive viability or other reasons, we love those guys, and then I mean, just so many good Pokemon on both teams. And honestly, I'm just amazed looking at the Majesty's team, like how stacked this looks. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a good team here, and the Agrons have been pretty good in recent seasons with just Greggles actually having started off in the beginning league. It's cool to see him up here in the main league and see if he can get a win here.
Yeah, no, I'm with you all the way. I could definitely see hyper offense coming from the Majesty. Chi-Yu and Garchomp look really spammable in this matchup. Like in Rock and Palmot also have good priority and coverage options. Titan and Sylveon for those bulky ground and grass types, and then Agron's definitely, yeah, bulky offense with like screens and wish support from Screamtail and Slowking into set up Baxcalibur, Donphan, even, Electros, Cinderace. Maybe we could see Swordsman Cinderace got it this generation. But yeah, I think we've got a good match. But enough about the speculation. Let's dive into what is actually coming to this match. First up on the Agron's team is Baxcalibur with a standard Dragon Dance set and Terra Dragon to boost the already spammable Glaive Rush. Then we have Screamtail with Light Clay and dual screens, as well as just enough speed to outspeed the opposing Lycanroc. Max HP and attack on Swordsman's Bisharp coming with Eviolite and Terra Blast, which is probably a sneaky Chi-Yu counter. Donphan also running max HP, max attack with hazards removable and spammable knockoffs and earthquakes, potentially boosted by Terra Ground. Choice Scarf Cinderace is bringing Terra Fire boosted Pyro Balls and Libero boosted high jump kicks, U-turns, and I like the Scarf Sucker Punch option for if it loses its Scarf or something boosts to even faster than it. Lastly, we've got a specially defensive Wo-Chien with a Stally knockoff, Leech Seed, Ruination, and Taunt set. Matt, what do you think about this team?
Yeah, like we kind of predicted here, they are bringing a few of their bulkier guys, but we do see some good firepower as well. Baxcalibur at the top there, really looking to get an opportunity to get up a D-Dance and go crazy. And then, yeah, just really looking forward to seeing how that Bisharp comes into play here. Like you mentioned, that kind of cheeky Terrablast set. We'll see if it actually gets that kill or not, or whoever else ends up tearing. And yeah, I don't know. I like the team. It seems pretty well rounded.
Yeah. Moving on to the Majesty, we're opening up with the terrifying Choice Specs Chi-Yu, running a fun option in Memento, and just barely needing to run Timid to outspeed max speed Excalibur. Garchomp can go Adamant though, making the Swords Dance set absolutely devastating if it gets the chance to set up, with the Lumberry to potentially ward off a Will-O-Wisp or a Toxic. Next is Modest Calm Mind Sylveon with Hyper Voice, Shadow Ball, and Terra Psychic boosted Psyshock with just enough speed to outspeed no investment Bisharp. Second Swords Dance sweeper this week is Lycanroc with Life Orb boosted Drill Run, Close Combat, and Accelerock, which could be further boosted by Terra Rock. Titan is coming with max HP and attack, as well as Terra Fairy for a better defensive typing, with a Life Orb boosting Ice Shard and Superpower, and Sheer Force further boosting Icicle Crash and Bulldoze. Then rounding out the team is Max Defense Serena with Boots, Stab Power Whip, Rapid Spin Synthesis, and U-Turn, with Terra Bug for stronger pivoting, although I don't expect to see it actually make use of that. What's your take on these sets, Matt?
Yeah, look at these Pokemon. You've got 5 of the 6 with 252 and some attacking stats. So, as predicted, we're getting a lot of full offense here, and it's interesting that their main pivot kind of bulkier option is that Serena, which normally would be it can definitely fill a good support role, but also likes to whip out max attack power whips and stuff. So interesting to see that kind of be their defensive pick here. And yeah, just curious if they even need that at all, or if they can just keep the foot on the gas and just power through the whole battle.
Yeah, I definitely like it being here. I think, making you like you said, making use of rapid spin, maybe saying high jump kick on it or something to try and push that offense even further. But enough, let's get into the actual match and see how it all went down. Alright, and here we are in the match. Here's the team preview. It looks like a pretty interesting matchup. Majesty definitely needs to keep up the pressure, not let the Aggrons set up. Aggrons looking to get off some consistent chip while staying healthy enough to set up, though. I think Screens and Wish are going to be huge for them against the Majesty's Wall Breakers. Matt, anything you see here in team preview that you think is really going to stand out this match?
Nothing too exceptional beyond what we called out before. I think that it is interesting that Chi-Yu's only resist on the other team is the more fragile Cinderace, but as we saw, there are a couple of tech options there, and even Wo-Chien having that weakness, it's just so especially bulky that I wouldn't be surprised to see that live a hit. But yeah, other than that, it looks like it's fairly well matched into each other, and you're both trying to capitalize on the type of gameplay that there's looking to specialize in, and hope the other team folds first.
Okay, turn 1 here, we have Screamtail and Lycanroc coming out, maybe expecting Cinderace lead?
And then an immediate switch into Sylveon there, looking to just reposition, maybe take advantage of the fact that screens are going up and
getting easy screens up, but that is just free Calm Minds.
Oh yeah. Big fan of Calm Mind around here.
Into Bisharp, into the Psyshock, which probably should have been Hyper Voice. I think it actually hits everything harder. But now we have Garchomp and Bisharp out here, and look at that bulk just eating a Reflect.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That Earthquake into that Reflect doing so little to that super effective Bisharp, and is able to actually take the kill on Garchomp, which
is now down just 40% inside against this Chi-Yu here. However, the Terra Rock does go off, the Overheat comes out, and it lives!
That's ridiculous. Even for Resisted to only do 32% is unbelievable.
Yeah, I was looking at the math there, and I mean, the Screens and Eviolite together give Bisharp some crazy bulk. Like, even there, Specs Modest Overheat never KO'd Bisharp there, and Bisharp was just at 40%.
That's amazing.
Garchomp got...
Screens are crazy.
Yeah, Garchomp got a min roll on the Earthquake, but he basically needed perfect max rolls on both the EQ and the overheat to have taken out the Bisharp there, which
Look at
is
that.
just crazy.
Yeah, that sequence of attacks worked out perfectly for the Agrons.
All right, but now Lycanroc is out here as Donphan comes out.
Accelerock, of course, doing nothing on that switch in,
Yeah, I think I
and
would have liked an aggressive Sword Stance predicting the switch or Sucker Punch.
yeah. So now here, free to get rocks up, although, of course, Serena comes in on that, able to remove them immediately, and the screens go down too. So all of a sudden, the Aggron's looking a little bit more fragile over there, but in comes Screamtail, sure enough, to set those back up, so no problem at all.
Yep, we decide to U-turn out into Lycanroc here. I might have liked a... No, I mean, I think that's fine. We go get screens as Sword Stance goes up, and which is going to heal Screamtail back up.
And now the Donphan coming in, and there is that Swords Dance. So we'll see how much this is able to do. It is a healthy 78% through that Reflect. And so, of course, not going to last for very long as the Donphan is easily able to take it down after that. But some good damage there, and whatever comes in next, in this case, the Titan is going to be able to clean that up.
Yep.
Although, of course, switching out. Not
but
choosing
you
to
get
set
the
up, but
crit
that is
through
crazy
Reflect.
damage. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, that would not have done nearly as much without that crit, but
No.
that Terra Fairy is going to make sure that this Titan will live a little bit longer. Although, of course, no fire move into it, so maybe that was a bit of a waste. But we'll see if they can put that to use later.
Yeah. Now you can see we're gonna be in a battle of attrition here as Screamtail's just sitting behind screens, dodging icicle crashes and healing back up with Wish.
Yeah, and of course, being faster, you don't even get the flinch chance on that icicle crash either. So you really just
Although
gotta
he
hope for
doesn't
a
with
crit
sheer
here or something.
force either.
Oh, that is a good point.
But
So.
that is allowing him to do decent damage here. I mean, he's technically out damaging the wishes as long as he hits, which he isn't always doing.
Yeah, it's makes you kind of thankful that most Pokemon got a better ice move this gen. I don't
Yeah.
know, some were not quite so lucky.
Um, Girl's having enough though is just gonna switch out of Titan into Sylveon. Um, and goes for the Calm Mind here, trying to set up, but that's going to let the Screamtail pass that Wish back to that crazy Bisharp. But it's Eevee to outspeed no investment Bisharp, which it is, and just picks up the KO immediately.
Yeah, great foresight there. And definitely came in handy. That's the matchup they prepped it for. And now looking to see if this Sylveon is able to actually break through these this combination of Wo-Chien and Screamtail here. Just gonna keep on boosting. No reason really not to. It seems like at this point,
Doing
Hyper
huge
Voice
damage
doing
even
just short
behind
of
that light
enough,
screen.
but now retaliating with the Leech Seed to try and at least increase its own longevity, and kind of put a timer on the Sylveon, provided that they are able to survive attacks to actually get that recovery.
Yeah, and we're seeing that right now, that Leech Seed bringing Screamtail just out of range. But we're gonna go straight into Cinderace, probably as a sack, as another Calm Mind goes up. I would have liked just the Hyper Voice to just keep pressuring that Screamtail.
And yet this Pyro Ball does so much damage, almost enough, and so now all they need to do is just live one more turn, and the Sylveon will go down to that Leech Seed.
Yeah.
Although they
Missed
can't
the Pyro Ball, I think, was
let
a
another
37% chance to KO there. But Baxcalibur's
Jeez.
gonna come and just easily pick up the KO.
Yeah, easy. And then now here is that's a Titan. Not a showdown of ice types anymore. And that superpower, pretty safe play outside of the fact that Screamtail is still back there, but did work out in this case, taking down the Donphan. So that does mean, I don't know what that means, but
Yeah.
no more fleshy
Well,
treads.
and
I was
he
gonna say
switches
no more
out
hazard
here into
removal, but okay.
Serena as the Reflect goes back up and then a Wish, but I think I would have just stayed in and tried to hit 2 Icicle Crashes on the Screamtail. It should have taken it out before it could Wish up.
Yeah. And so, unfortunately, that Dazzling Gleam is going to not allow it to get a second move off, and that Wish going to come through. So, So Titan, just desperate to get some damage off before it
Yep.
goes down with that ice shard. But it is not going to be enough. This combination here of Pokemon in the back is just so difficult to break, and I mean it definitely looks like their game plan,
But
short of critical hits,
Serena trying
was
to make a
working out well.
last-ditch effort here.
Yep, just crit every move, easy. Although that Icicle Crash doing enough to make that an easy 2-hit KO. Oh,
And the flinch.
and the
Excalibur
flinch.
says, actually, no, we've had enough shenanigans, some shenanigans of our own, and Glaive Rush will wrap up that battle. It's a well-won battle for the Agrons, coming on the back of that insane Bisharp set, and Screamtail putting in huge work. Majesty played really well, though, after losing their two big damage dealers early. They were probably just, one more good crit or, a really good prediction away from being right back in it. What are your thoughts on the match, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, totally agree with your analysis there. I think that, you know, it would be interesting to see if Chi-Yu would have been able to break these other Pokemon, but, the expert use of screens shown by the Agrons definitely would not have made that a given whatsoever. And I mean, I think the fact that, even just like Bisharp, taking so little from, in one case, a super effective hit, and in another case, just, one of the most powerful attacks known to man, even though it was resisted, was just showing how hard this would have been to break anyway, even with their heavy hitters. And so, like I don't even know if overheat would have broken through Wo-Chien like with screens up. I'm sure we could calc that, but just instinct tells me that it wouldn't have been a cakewalk, even if
Yeah.
they had still had that
Yeah, I
thing
mean,
around. And so the fact that the Agrons were able to dispatch it earlier did make it a more clear path to victory. But like you said, the Majesty fought well regardless.
yeah. All right. Well, thanks as always to our fabulous coaches. Thanks to Matt for co-hosting this one with me.
Yeah. Thanks for having me back.
And of course, thanks to you for watching this far. Be sure to go check out the power rankings on this channel or some additional content from some of our coaches, which you'll find linked in the description. And I'll see you next week for another feature match.
And like, comment, and subscribe. See ya.
Heck yeah!